Have you ever been alone in a place that felt wrong? A place where the silence was too heavy, the shadows too deep, and the air too cold? Tonight, I bring you a story that will make you question every empty hallway, every flickering light, and every strange noise in the night. This is the story of Ethan, a man who thought he'd hit rock bottom after a painful divorce. Desperate to rebuild his life, he took a job as a night shift security guard at Blackthorn Community College. At first, it seemed like the perfect opportunity, quiet, uneventful, and a chance to start over. But as the nights wore on, Ethan began to realize that the campus held secrets far darker than he could have imagined. This is not just a story, it's a warning. A reminder that sometimes the scariest things are not what we see, but what we feel. So, sit back, turn down the lights, and let me take you to Blackthorn Community College, where the night shift became a nightmare. Ethan had always believed that life would get better, but after his divorce, he wasn't so sure. His ex-wife, Clara, had taken almost everything. The house, the furniture, even the dog. All he had left were his clothes, a few photos, and his loyal dog, Riley. With no money and nowhere to go, Ethan moved in with his friend Marcus, who offered him a place to stay until he got back on his feet. Desperate for work, Ethan applied for a night shift security guard position at Blackthorn Community College. The campus was large, with 14 buildings spread across a sprawling area. The security office was located on the second floor of the south parking garage, a small, dimly lit room filled with monitors and coffee-stained desks. During his interview, Ethan met the two senior guards, James and Darnell. They were friendly enough, walking him through his duties. 2 full patrols of the campus each night, monitoring the security cameras and ensuring no one was on the premises after hours. The shift ran from 9:30 p.m. to 6 a.m., and Ethan would be alone for most of it. At first, the job seemed perfect. The campus was quiet, the work was straightforward, and Ethan even started to bond with James and Darnell during their overlapping shifts. But as the nights went on, he began to notice something strange. The campus, so lively during the day, felt eerily empty at night. The silence was deafening, and the shadows seemed to stretch longer than they should. It was during one of his patrols that Ethan first noticed something unusual. As he walked through the south parking lot, he saw a shadow moving beneath one of the lampposts. It was too large to be an animal, too deliberate to be the wind. He approached cautiously, but there was nothing there. No person, no car, no sign of life. Back in the security office, Ethan checked the camera feed. The shadow was still there, moving back and forth beneath the light. He rewound the footage, but the shadow remained, as if it had always been there. The next night, Ethan saw it again. This time, the shadow was accompanied by a figure, a tall, lanky woman in a dirty white dress. She stood perfectly still beneath the lamppost, her back to the camera. Ethan's heart raced as he zoomed in, trying to make out her features, but the image was too grainy, too blurred. Ethan was exhausted. The summer heat had made it impossible to sleep during the day, and his cheap apartment offered little relief. By the time his shift started, he was running on just a few hours of sleep. Around midnight, he dozed off at his desk, only to be jolted awake by a sudden, overwhelming sense of dread. His eyes darted to the monitors, and there she was, the woman from the parking lot. She stood beneath the lamppost, her head bowed, her long black hair obscuring her face. Ethan grabbed his flashlight and rushed to the south lot. The woman was still there, her back to him, her dress swaying gently in the breeze. He called out to her, but she didn't respond. As he reached out to touch her shoulder, his hand recoiled in pain. Her skin was burning hot like fire. The woman turned slowly, and Ethan's blood ran cold. Her face was not human. It was the face of a goat, with curved horns and glowing red eyes. Strands of flesh hung from her horns, and her mouth twisted into a grotesque smile. Ethan ran, his heart pounding as he heard the creature's thunderous roar behind him. He barricaded himself in the security office, his hands shaking as he called 911. The police arrived quickly, but they found nothing. The creature was gone, leaving no trace of its presence. They played back the footage, and there it was, the goat-faced woman standing beneath the lamppost. But when they searched the lot, there was nothing. Ethan resigned that night, leaving a note on the desk and never looking back. He moved out of his apartment, unable to shake the feeling that the creature was still out there, watching, waiting. And so, we leave Ethan to grapple with the aftermath of that terrifying night. The campus may have returned to normal, but the scars remain, a constant reminder that sometimes the scariest things are not what we see, but what we feel. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more chilling stories. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new upload. Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Until next time, remember, stay safe, stay vigilant, and always trust your instincts. Because sometimes the scariest things are closer than you think.